All right. All right. All right, what's up, guys? We are live. All right. Doing our first mock draft of the year. We'll see what we got. Feel free to hop in on Underdog right now. This is a paid draft. And, yeah, we're going to get down to it. I'm hoping this fills. I'm waiting for 10 people right now. 1, 2. Well, 2 people are in right now. So we might start queuing up some people. Other than that, see how it goes. And we'll see what pick we get here. This is, again, Underdog draft. I know if you're in the fantasy space, you probably know what it is. If you don't, it is a best ball draft, which means you draft at the beginning of summer, aka right now. You don't have to draft or edit your team the rest of the year. So that's what makes best ball pretty cool. It's good for mock drafting, kind of what I'm doing right now, getting a little sense of the ADP in the market, seeing what we're working with, so on and so forth. But hopefully this is pretty clear. This is the first time we're doing this on TikTok. It's also live on YouTube. So go check it out. Hopefully this, looks okay. Hopefully this, looks okay. Hopefully. What up, Mike, Tammy? I'm trying to find how I could see your comments in the chat, because I don't think I can right now. Hopefully I can here soon. What just happened? We're still waiting for 10 people. Anybody out there? Anybody not going out on Friday night and want a mock draft? It's now or never. Let's get down to it. No, here we go again. See, I don't know what we're doing. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we just kind of gotta wait. So in the meantime, I guess we could talk fantasy via the phone. So in the meantime, I guess we could talk fantasy via the phone. So in the meantime, I guess we could talk fantasy via the phone. So in the meantime, I guess we could talk. How do I mute this? Fantasy via the phone. So in the meantime, I guess we could talk. How do I mute this? Fantasy via the phone. So in the meantime, I guess we could talk. How do I mute this? Fantasy. Can't blame you. I don't know if there is an echo. I don't think there's an echo now. Can't blame you. I don't know if there is an echo. I don't think there's an echo now. Can't blame you. I don't know if there is an echo. I don't think there's an echo now. Can't blame you. I don't know if there is an echo. There's definitely an echo. Oh no. There's definitely an echo. Oh no. There's definitely an echo. What up, Logan? What up, Logan? They know how to develop them. That's the key. That's why I love George Pickens this year. I think he's going as wide receiver 29. That's the key. That's why I love George Pickens this year. I think he's going as wide receiver 29. He could be easily wide receiver 2. I hope. Is there an echo? If any of you 7 people can help me out and let me know if there's an echo, that would be great. I think there is. There's an echo. Perfect, my man. I'm technology deficient. All right, that might have worked. We'll see. Sounds cool. Well, I'll take that. That's a nice way. That might have worked. We'll see. Sounds cool. Well, I'll take that. It's a nice way. That might have worked. We'll see. Sounds cool. Well, I'll take that. It's a nice way. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on here. Also, why is no one joining this underdog draft? I might have to redo this stream. Yeah, I mean, Pickens has all the confidence. He thinks he's Terrell Owens. And honestly, I kind of respect it. I like it. I think he could be wide receiver, a wide receiver 2 this year. He's ascending to a third-year breakout, and he's so young still. So he's had a better first 2 years than people think statistically. This is a $3 one, Nathan, but I'm trying to somehow stream this, and it's not really working via TikTok. Maybe this is why people don't stream this. But yeah, I like Pickens, especially where he's going right now. Like, he's got a great candidate for a breakout. 3rd year, athletic freak. All right. Maybe. Maybe I just use the normal. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. My laptop mic. All right. Yeah, there we go. That's all we needed. My laptop mic. All right. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, dude, the Chargers, it's interesting because their whole philosophy, too, is going to be running the ball. But not a lot of people love Gus Edwards in the industry. So I think a lot of people are just fading the Chargers in general. I'm fading like Lad McConkey big time, going in, what, the 6th round? Insane. Going in, what, the 6th round? Insane. Going in, what, the 6th round? Insane. Going in, what, the 6th Gus is older. J.K. coming off an Achilles just seems bad. Yeah, it's a weird. I mean, I can't say I have many shares of anyone. Josh Palmer's probably the only guy just because of the value of he's going like 40 picks later than like Ladd McConkey, who everyone's fallen in love with because he can run a button hook and slant route in shorts. It's like Jerry Jeudy. Not saying he's Jerry Jeudy, but everyone was also freaking out about Jerry Jeudy and how he had such quick feet. But it does not translate. Let's see once they put the pads on. Would you get Bijan with your first pick? If I had like the 8th pick or after. I'm not the biggest fan of taking running backs in the first round unless it's CMC, obviously. There's other guys I would take over him. I would take all the big 5 receivers. I would take Amon-Ra. I think he's just so much safer, especially if this is PPR. The Breece Hall, Bijan debate, if I'm really having that at that point, then, I mean, let's see where even, at that point, do you take an A.J. Brown? I'd even take a Garrett Wilson, cue him up. At that point, though, I'm probably taking Bijan. I really haven't been in that position much. The Bijan or Breece debate, it's so hard for me. Like on one hand, Breece won the Triple Crown of targets, receiving yards, receptions, but is that going to translate over to an offense with Aaron Rodgers as it did for Zach Wilson? Probably not. So, we shall see. How is no one else drafting right now? Is my location like disabled or something? Yeah, it is. Why is that? Ohio State's QBs don't do well in the NFL. That sounds like an Ohio State slander, which I will not tolerate. But it is true. You could just see how different their offense was last year to this year and how important he was to that team. So it really doesn't shock me that Stroud was that good. Did I think he was going to be as good as he was? Hell no. Nobody did. If they say that, they're lying. $1985, though, there's a first time for everything. First time for everything. All right, let's see if we can get 2 out of 12. We got to get a best ball one, obviously. Sam Laporta will be the best tight end. I don't like at all where Sam Laporta is drafting. How would you rank the late wide receiver ones? Puka, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, Wilson. Amon-Ra, I think, is way above those guys, Nathan. He's closer to the Jefferson Chase tier than he is those other tiers. I don't even think it's close. The other guys, and then London, I think, is also not in that tier, so I put him last. I think Puka, A.J. Brown, and Wilson, I see like those guys are like the 3 that are kind of jumbled up. I like Wilson the most. First round pick, I really don't see a situation where he doesn't hit as long as he and Rodgers stay healthy. So I think he for sure has the biggest upside. Puka, probably I put him, A.J. Brown, then Puka, just based on target competition. I like A.J. Brown. He kind of had a fall off the second half of the year last year, but you bring in Kellen Moore. Hopefully they throw the ball more. Philly bounces back. You got to think they will. So I would go for sure Amon-Ra, then Wilson, Puka, A.J. Brown, Drake London. Well, out of those guys, I'm just lower on. I mean, we just haven't seen any real indication that it's with your first pick, get a defense. Remember, defense wins championships. That probably not a bad pick. All the Justin Jefferson fans could have used that last year. Now, I'm not like low on London, but I just think he's not he's the one guy who hasn't really proven it like all those other guys. Even Garrett Wilson has like outperformed him based on his quarterback play. Now, they both had shitty quarterback play, but like Drake London, he's just competing with Bijan still for like targets. He's competing with Kyle Pitts. Kirk Cousins is older. We don't know how he's going to be coming off the Achilles. I think there's just a little bit more question marks. But if I respect people who have the faith to take Drake London early because they see something. I don't see it yet. I think he's a second-round pick, which is still fine. JJ versus Chase, I'm taking Jamar. I think it's just simply just a better offense. I mean, it's not even close to a better offense. And something just weirdly inkling I have a feeling that this is the year the Bengals bounce back. Kyle Pitts explosive was going to be awesome. Guess not. Yeah, 1,000 yards is rookie year. That's all about anybody cares about. So, all right, let's see if we can get in this draft. Or a draft. Like, holy crap. Here we go. Okay. We are waiting on 4 people for this draft, and we will see what we're working with. Pitts has done okay with Ritter. Maybe Kirk can help him out. Yeah, Kyle Pitts, I read a stat the other day. This was shocking. So far in his career, he has 6 total touchdowns. Is that correct? I got to look that up again. Kyle Pitts, total touchdowns. In NFL. 6. That's nuts. Will Caleb be a franchise quarterback? His expectations aren't too high, right? Or his expectations are super high. But his shoes to fill in the Bears offense is not. No, there's never been a number 1 pick equipped with everything that he has. So I think Caleb's going to be good, honestly. It's hard to argue that he won't. I don't like all these like rankings making him a top 10 quarterback already. It's ridiculous. But, we'll see how it goes. Caleb Williams, Caleb for president. Caleb for Chicago mayor. I think I could see him being someone who turns the ball over a lot, but has a couple really flashy games that everyone's going to look to and say, remember week 6 against the Vikings where he threw for 320 and 3 tutties? Yeah, that's what we drafted him for. So the Bears have high expectations. I think they're expecting to make the playoffs, which people have not said about that team in years. Yep. Bears, only team to never have a QB 4,000-yard passer, and even the touchdowns are like, it's exceptionally low. I have my pulled up. All right, guys, we're just waiting a little bit here. 2 people left, and then we're going to get going. Friday night mock draft. First one on the stream for the year. Let's get it going. Again, these are underdog drafts, so these are for real money. And it's how you know they're sharp, because they're best ball drafts, so you don't even set your lineup. You check it at the end of the year, but it's great for guessing sharp ADP for your fantasy drafts. Definitely check it out. The stream. All right. 2 people. Come on. predicted Puka was going to be awesome. No one's ever heard of him before. Puka was a solid guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to act like I did, but like people come out of the woodworks. It's funny, like once he's been good and say like, oh, you know, like he was a dog in college. I knew it. He really was like from the get-go such a good yak guy. He put on, or he lost weight this summer apparently, so he's going to be a little bit more nimble. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. He took a pounding last year. So it'll be interesting. Rams are always just, no one's talking about the Rams. No one's talking about how good the Rams can be. I feel like they don't get the love they deserve, which is crazy, being a former Super Bowl winning team not too long ago. So, let's see what we're working with here. Waiting for 3 people now. I probably should have started the stream as it was filled, so that's my bad. First one of the year. We're learning on the fly. No worries. But if you want to join in on this draft, go head over to Underdog and you could draft with us. Draft live with us. Hang out a little bit. Chat it up a little bit. And potentially, you know, win some money. So that's always the goal, right? In life, usually. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Trevor Lawrence and T. Higgins are overrated. 1985 is just coming in with the hot takes. Trevor, clearly the Jags don't think so. Just paid him an absolute fat bag. So there go the sirens. That's how you know we're about to start. But T. Higgins, I definitely think so. I'm hoping he's not going to get phased out of the offense because he's a good player still. And they lost, what's his face? Tyler Boyd. So that's why I like Jamar even more. All right, draft starts in a minute. We have the 107, which is a tough spot to draft in my opinion. Because you're going to miss out on all these receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or the big 5 plus CMC. And then we're going to have to make the choice that I just said here earlier I didn't want to have to make. And that's Bijan or Breece Hall. So, my lucky day. I get to choose right away. And again, this is half PPR, so I will definitely be going running back in the first round. And we're going to see what happens. I didn't want to choose between these guys. Literally 1985, you were saying earlier, who you taking? I'm thinking in my mind, I'm never going to have to choose. Here we are. That's how reality works. There used to be a lot of great tight ends. Now there's only about 3. Actually, tight ends pretty deep this year. If you look at Laporta, Kelsey, McBride, Andrews, and Kincaid, I think are in a pretty good tier of guys that can be pretty deep. Then you got guys like Evan Ingram, people that are like tight end. Pat Freiermuth, tight end 14. I mean, I think he is a sneaky play to eventually, be a fantasy viable option. So we'll see. We shall see. Now let's pull up the big board because we are 5 picks away. We're 5 picks away. How do I see the queue here? Rankings. Oh. What is going on here? Okay. That scared me for a sec. Go to draft. So we got CMC at the 1, then we got CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek, Jamar, and then it's going to be Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra. Nothing too crazy here. Those, I think, should be the top 4 picks. Amon-Ra at the 5. Here comes Jefferson. And then right on cue, boom, we're on the clock. We're on the clock. Just like I said, we got queued up Bijan and Breece Hall. Pick your poison. What do you like? Strawberries, blueberries, both pretty elite in my opinion. 10 seconds. We're gonna go here and get Bijan though. Just get a share of Bijan. First player taken. He's just got crazy upside. Crazy upside. Colin Coward said the Rams and Chargers don't have true loyal fans because LA only cares about the Lakers. Yeah, LA has the worst sports fans in America. They're all fake. But back to this, we got Bijan. Yeah, I mean, you got your stable running back one in this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a lot of shares of Bijan, so it's good to have him. We got Jahmyr Gibbs going at the 9 right now, which is interesting. So A.J. Brown, all those next tier of receivers are still available. So we're taking Bijan. It is what it is. Garrett Wilson, there he goes. No surprise. A.J. Brown at the 111, and then wrapping up the first round, we are got Puka Nacua. All right, exactly. And then Marvin Harrison going at the 2-1. That's so early still, I think, for Marv. That's the earliest a rookie wide receiver is ever gone. So now the influx of receivers probably come. We still got Drake London on the board. I like Jonathan Taylor. If we want to go running back, this might be the time to do it. Lions coach talks like a pro wrestler. Yeah, he's the homie. Shout out Dan Campbell. Might be in this draft. Who knows? And then we got Saquon at the 2-1 or 2-2. Okay, so Jonathan Taylor's there. I think I'm going to go running back, which I haven't done in years, especially in this day and age. But that is a sexy duo, Bijan and JT, to start your league off. I'm speaking like it's already going to happen. So we'll see. We got Devontae Adams. Humberbeck, don't screw me over. Chris Olave goes at the 2-5. All right, so that's pretty big. Now, 7 seconds left. I think I'm just going to go JT. This is typically not the draft that I go for, especially you have to start 3 wide receivers in these lineups for underdog. But, I mean, that's pretty sexy. Like, I definitely have the best running back duo to start, and I can pretty much wait on running backs now until we get probably to, like, the 8th round. Najee or Jaylen Warren? Talk about a polarizing group. I'm a little bit pro Najee just because they're not going to pick up his 5th-year option. I think they're going to run him into the ground. He's had 1,000 yards every year. He's had a really good second half of the year. If you go back and look at like what he did the last 4 games, everyone's obsessed with Jaylen Warren's like ability to maybe in full PPR I could get convinced, but Najee's always going to be the goal line back. Najee gets a lot of hate, kind of like Jason Tatum, for no reason. More reason. He hasn't really been that great, but like he hasn't been as bad as everyone thinks. I at that point in the draft, I'll go for Najee. I think Jaylen Warren's ceiling's a little bit capped based on the kind of the player he is. And Najee's is too. I mean, you're not getting a crazy, like, high-end RB1 with either of those guys, but at least we've seen it from Najee before. His rookie year, he can catch passes, so I'm fine with either one, though. They're going around the same area. So we got the 2-6, then we got Devonta Smith. Brandon Ayuk at the 2.7, and then Nico Collins at the 2.8. We got Jalen Waddle 2.9, Devon Achane, who I love, at the 2.10, Debo, Mike Evans, Kyron Williams, who's a little bit polarizing, ahead of Derrick Henry. We got DK Metcalf. So pretty much on par to like where, I've seen all these people go. No one's really reaching for anyone. I assume a quarterback's probably going to go before me. Do I just punt on wide receiver altogether? That might be the draft this is, and then we're going to label this, I didn't take a wide receiver for the first 5 rounds and see what happens. Maybe that'll be clickbait. But DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, now here they go. It's a little bit too early for me to get Laporta, but I don't mind Jalen Hurts here. See, it's a little bit too early for Neighbors, Diggs, Cup. I'm not really a fan of. At this price, everything has a price, so we'll see. Stephon Diggs. Oh, I'm on the clock now. So, Malik Neighbors, who do I go with here? It's a little bit juicy. We got Jalen Hurts, ADP at 40. I'm drafting at 31. Would it be a reach? Probably. But I don't like really Malik Neighbors either. Or Isaiah Pacheco, who I'm just going to go with. Who did I take? Oh my gosh, I got auto-picked. I got Malik Neighbors. Oh my gosh. See, that's the thing with these live drafts. I'm not even paying attention. I got Malik Neighbors in the 3rd round. That cannot be my wide receiver 1. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. What the hell? This draft is... Man. That's tough. That's tough. Right, user? That's tough. I don't know. We move on. We keep going. Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Malik Neighbors, Sam Laporta, Josh Allen, Michael Pittman, Jalen Hurts. I should have got Jalen Hurts. I don't know why I didn't get Jalen Hurts. Clock ran out. Clock strikes midnight. So... And then Cooper Kupp at the 3.12 to round out the 3rd round. So we got 2 quarterbacks. We only have had 1 tight end taken so far. Laporta at the 3.8. We got Tank Dell at the 4.1. And then, at this point, if Isaiah Pacheco's still there, I'm taking him all day. I wanted to take him the round before. QB, Lamar. Tight end, Trey McBride. So we got Zay Flowers at the 4.3. I think that's pretty early. Not the biggest fan of Zay, especially in half PPR. There's Isaiah Pacheco. And I'm screwed. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see. We are working with Humba, Travis Etienne. So, I already have my 2 running backs, so I'm on the clock. Here we go. Josh Jacobs, James Cook, I don't like any of those guys enough to take them. Lamar, Patrick Mahomes. I think I might go Trey McBride here. Trey McBride, I think, has the upside to be a tight end 1. I got T. Higgins. There we go again. There we go again, dude. These 30-second picks always get me. I now drafted 2 receivers that I don't really like. But hey, that's why you live and you learn. Yeah, Derrick Henry, I think he should be like a late 2nd round pick. This guy right here, CD, don't love the Debo pick as much, but getting Derrick Henry to 3-2 is phenomenal, considering what Gus Edwards had 13 rushing touchdowns last year. Derrick Henry showed no signs of aging. And, Lamar, I think they're going to want to, run it more than, giving it to Lamar. That's why I'm not as big of a fan as Lamar. I think he's set the bar so high last year with his MVP season. I don't think he's going to be running as much. Derrick Henry, we're going to look back and be like, Derrick Henry was the safest play if he plays all 17 games. He's just such a safe play. We know what he is. You know what I mean? We don't have to have, this has to break right, this has to do this. No, he's in one of the best offenses in the league, one of the top rushing offenses in the league. Granted, they lost a little bit of O-line help, but still elite. And look what they produced last year with whatever bums, Gus Edwards and whatnot they were throwing in there. Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, still banged up. Haven't heard good things about his knee in the offseason, so I just love Derrick Henry even more. Who would you rather have, DeAndre Hopkins or Calvin Ridley? That's a tough one. Initially I thought D-Hop, but the ceiling for Calvin Ridley just, I think I'm going to go Ridley there. I know D-Hop is 69 ADP. Where the heck is... He can't be that. Where's Calvin Ridley? 57. So a little bit wide receiver 35. DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver 41. Yeah, I think I just in that offense, I'd like Ridley a year back from he had his blow-up weeks in Jacksonville. I still think he's a good player. I don't expect a lot from that Tennessee offense, but where they're going, I think Ridley has higher upside. Patrick Mahomes, Terry McLaurin at the 5-2, Christian Kirk, Dalton Kincaid, my guy Dalton Kincaid, James Cook. Let's see what I can screw up this time, because my two wide receivers are Malik Neighbors and T. Higgins. That is awful. Those are live draft. Those are auto-picked for me. Let's not forget, we got Keenan Allen. I got to get ready probably, honestly. And then I like to see who the person before me picks, though. Joe Mixon. Okay, we're on the clock. Tight end. Mark Andrews. Love Mark Andrews. I think I'm going tight end. Or I just go heavy running back. Or Anthony Richardson. I love Anthony Richardson so much. But there's a lot of good quarterbacks down here. But screw it, we're shooting for upside. I'm going to draft A-Rich. Just going to do it. At the 5'7", 55 overall, that's about where he's going, so I didn't really reach. I like him before Jaden Reed. So I'll take Richardson all day. Let's see if we can expand this a little bit for the viewers, for those keeping score at home. I don't know where to put my big ass head. We'll put it right there. We'll minimize it, but we'll put it right there. All right. Going back. Let's see what we got here. Jaden Reed, Xavier Worthy, CJ Stroud, Calvin Ridley. There he goes. He went at the 5'11" at this draft. So, what up, Matt? Mark Andrews, my guy. That's exactly who I wanted. There was a comment about Ridley last season. He's probably the worst kind of fantasy. He's the worst kind of fantasy player, undroppable. Undroppable? What do you mean undroppable? Undraftable, undroppable. I mean, he definitely was all over the place last year, but new regime, new offense in Tennessee. I think there's upside still with Ridley. Chris Godwin goes at the 6'2". Going to play a lot more in the slot this year from what I'm hearing. New offense in Tampa Bay, too. But this is kind of make or break it, prove it year for Chris Godwin, I think. My man, it's been years since you've had your top wide receiver finish. Not top, but up there, you and Mike Evans. Maybe you're just not as good as we thought. We'll see this year. Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram, Evan Ingram would have been a good pick there. So we got Bijan, JT, we got Malik, T. Higgins. Still hate my receivers, but we move on. Untradeable, unstartable, unimaginable, unfathomable. But I agree. He was just, after his week 1 last year, everyone thought he was going to be the wide receiver 1 overall. Roma Dunze at the 6'5", that is borderline jail time. Jordan Addison, Lam McConkey, DeAndre. What pick is this? 67. Man. I'll go Kittle here. Or did I miss my pick again? They drafted Rachaad White for me. Okay, that's who I was going to go with regardless, too. Not a big Rachaad White fan. I don't think many people are. Because of his efficiency. Just being so bad. Piss poor. But you'll take it. I mean, like, not the sexiest pick, but, like, I like a more PPR, but, like, I really don't like this team at all right now. Lam McConkey's a weird name. Yeah, he's kind of a weird dude, too. But Georgia, very good route runner. Just, I don't think he's going to be as good as where he's being drafted right now. He is still a rookie in a run-heavy offense. So, people were saying the same about Quinn Johnson last year. How did that turn out? Big yikes. So we got Kenneth Walker at the 6'7". We got George Kittle at the 6'8", who I wanted to take. Joe Burrow at the 6'9". There's your boy DeAndre Hopkins going at the 6'10". So 11 picks later than Calvin Ridley. I think that's pretty standard is where I think they've been going. Rashee Rice, probably the most interesting player in this draft based on everything he has going on. His finish last year. Is he going to get suspended? What other trouble is he going to get into? Who knows? So we got Rashee Rice closing out the 6th round. Then we got David Montgomery. The man who was rolling last year. Just couldn't catch anything. So better in half PPR settings. Kyler Murray, early 7th. Again, these are 18-round drafts. Just because you don't set your lineup after the year, so you pick whoever you want, and then the best players that week will automatically get put in your lineup, and then you come back at the end of the year, see if you won the league, and that's that. But at the very least, you're just practicing your drafting, so very cool. Sports commentator said Vikings don't do that well because Vikings fans are too nice. Yeah, they're the Midwest. Midwestern people are nice. I don't know if that's why they don't do well, but they're not going to do well this year. They're in low-key a tough division. All right, we're about halfway through the draft. Not even really. We got Najee there at the 7-3. There's your Najee question. He went before Jaylen Warren. So, Jaylen Warren, ADP is around 90. So, Najee just got picked at 75. So, possibly a full round and a half earlier for Najee Harris. JSN at the 7-6. Alvin Kamara, James Conner. Alvin Kamara pretty risky as well. Really good last year. Just is he close to that cliff? They're in a bad offense. I don't want anything to do with that offense for the most part. JSN, quite the opposite. New offense. Everyone's talking about how much they're going to be throwing over there in Seattle. And it shows. And I just auto-drafted Jordan Addison. I didn't even know I was on the freaking clock. Love it. Do you think they gave up on Kenny Pickett too quickly? Nah, I don't think so. I think when you know, you know. Like your girls. If she's the one, you know. But yeah, I mean, they gave him no indication. Like, especially this league nowadays, like, it's more impatient than ever. So you find someone else better, get him out, on to the next. I just don't think he was built for that offense. He seemed like he wasn't toughening out. I don't know how he was viewed in the locker room, but I don't know, I think Steelers fans will sleep at night. I don't think they're going to miss Kenny too much. So, Jordan Addison, Keon Coleman, Aaron Jones, Zamir White. So we're running low on starting running backs, which I probably got to get another one here. And now I'm getting a phone call, which I have to ignore. We'll queue up Jonathan Brooks because I hear, and Zach Moss, two guys that I like to at least get hopefully some volume plays. Jonathan Brooks probably later in the year once he comes back from the knee injury. But Christian Watson, Ramondre Stevenson, we'll see if either of those guys are still there, but I got to get someone else to pair with. I mean, I got Rachaad White, so maybe not. I think I got to get a tight end here soon. I missed all the tight end tiers that I was just talking about. So, at this stage, I'll do Ferguson. I think Ferguson's due at least for a few big weeks just based on how lethal that Cowboys offense is. What just happened? So we'll see. We got, let's see. We got Deontay Johnson, who I low-key was probably going to get. Oh, I'm on the clock right now. I said I need a tight end. Yeah, I'm just going to take Ferguson here. You just got to do it. I got to at least get one player in that Cowboys offense. Fergie, and now Brock Bowers. Now we're starting the trend, hopefully. Now the run begins. Fergie, and now Brock Bowers. Now we're starting the trend, hopefully. Now the run begins. Lamar ain't passing for 6,000 passing yards in his life. He wouldn't do that in freaking college right now. Lamar Jackson. Hard pass. I think I might. I know I'm live streaming this right now. I might turn this into just a fantasy Q&A, so I might edit this background if we can. Or at least go me, big half. Pick'em's small half. We'll see how that works. This is an experiment, y'all. This is an experiment. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. Back to the scheduled programming. And see what we got here. Romeo Doubs at the 9-2. Javonte Williams at the 9-1. It's about time we go back to receiver because you need a lot of receivers in these best ball formats, especially because you start 3. So Josh Palmer, someone I like. I think he has a lot of upside. I like Jaylen Warren at this point right now. I mean, we are kind of throwing ADP out the wall when it gets over 100. I think Jaylen Warren just got picked. Yep. Somebody suck me. Gosh. Okay. You tell Belichick's hate doing interviews. He's always mumbling. He's very secretive. He also has a 24-year-old girlfriend now, so he's doing well. Tony Pollard. All right, I'm on the clock. Let's see. I didn't know Tony Pollard was still available. That's kind of crazy. I'll go Curtis Samuel. I think he has a real chance to be the number one option there in Buffalo. So I'm going to take my chances with him. I think he could, not so much touchdown dependent, but he could have some 7 for 100 games. I think that's in the reasonable outcomes for Curtis Samuel. Good player, underrated player. Doesn't get always the respect he deserves, unfortunately. But we move on. Nick Chubb. Who's drafted Nick Chubb at the 9-9? That's tragic. Devin Singletary. And J-Lo we see. I bet Taylor Swift doesn't even like football. Seems like the camera is always on her at the stadium. She likes the attention. She has more Super Bowl rings than me. So, good for her. Cortland Sutton goes at the end of the 9th round. We got one more pick in the 9th. And then we're going to queue up. Let's see some other people here. Tajay Spears is someone I like a lot. I think he can outperform Tony Pollard overall this year. Khalil Shakir, if you want to talk about shooting for upside. Rashid Shaheed, not Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir, I just drafted. Curtis Samuel. He's a poor man's Curtis Samuel. And my guy just got sniped. I don't even know who I had on there. Tajay Spears, my guy. I'm going to try and get one more running back since we have 3. Because it's slim pickings at this point. I would like to get Blake Corum just because if anything happens to Kyron Williams, you got yourself an RB1 right then and there. All these other guys aren't really even handcuffed. Zach Charbonnet is the only one here that you could really say anything happens to their starter, then they get the bag. But Blake Corum, he's that dude. Performing well, too, in camp. A lot of questions around Kyron Williams, which I don't really understand, but, I'll go where the noise takes me. Wide receiver-wise, again, I like Rashid Shaheed. And then I'll probably start taking some of these rookies or some of these Green Bay receivers. I could use another quarterback, too, while I'm at it. Because I got Anthony Richardson, who is a little bit injury-prone, and obviously things happen. So I'm going to queue up and try and get Trevor Lawrence here, coming off a big contract. I think between one of those two guys, I will be set. Who's your favorite team? I'm unfortunately a Cowboys fan. It sucks. They have sucked since I've been born. I wish I wasn't one, honestly. I was kind of forced into it before I could even wipe my own butt. But it is what it is. That's what happens when you're born in the 90s. That's what happens when your uncle was a fair weather fan and likes them because they're good, and then makes me like them, and now they suck. Gus Edwards, Rashid Shaheed. I didn't even know I drafted. But Rashid Shaheed, there we go. All right. We got to start queuing up some people that I actually want to draft here. Tight end. Who do I got at tight end? Jake Ferguson. We're getting 10th round, so we're really only halfway through. So we got a lot of time to work with. Who's your favorite team? 1985. Is it the Bears? You need to stop playing games overseas. I don't mind it. I think it grows the game. Houston, lucky dog. That's the way. America's darling, the Houston Texans. Who would have thought this a year ago? It's kind of true. And Trevor Lawrence must have just got taken. So I'm looking at some of these other guys that might maybe have some upside. because A. Rich, it should be my guy every week, but you never really do know. Trevor Lawrence, Tua, so here they come. I need another tight end and running back. I got receivers. I think I'm pretty set. Malik Neighbors, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, Curtis Samuel, Rashid Shaheed. Very mid. But I got my two big running backs, Bijan and JT. We got Eckler. That's gross. At the 1-2. Jerome Ford, Josh Downs. NFC games are boring. Well, you must not like Joe Buck then. The classic 425 game for the Cowboys and Giants. But yeah, the AFC is way more loaded. So Jared Goff. Who we got here? I think I got to go quarterback. Brock Purdy was just taken. I got to go get another quarterback. I cannot just rely on Anthony Richardson. Someone just took TJ Hawkinson. That's gross. He ain't even going to play. Or can I wait for a quarterback? Zach Charbonnet. Juicy. I think I'm good on most of these guys. Can't hurt for another running back, but I'll go Charbonnet. Did I get Charbonnet in? I did. All right. So I'm good on running back, I think. I got my big three, Bijan, JT, and Rachaad White, and Zach Charbonnet, if anything happens to Kenneth Walker. AFC North is the best division. Yeah, I'm from that area, so they just beat the hell out of each other. It's awesome. But we'll see who we got here. We got Dalton Schultz on the clock. We got the 11-10 at the end of the 12th round. Who do you take at this point? Anthony Richardson, Bijan, Rachaad White, Zach Charbonnet, Malik Neighbors, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, Curtis Samuel, Rashid Shaheed, Jake Ferguson at the tight end. My wide receivers are so bad. I feel like I just got to stock up on some of these. I did say I have to take another quarterback, though, so I think I'm going to go quarterback. And then the rest of these are just going to be wide receivers that hopefully maybe can hit on a good day. Hopefully they can hit. So we got Jacoby Myers at the 11-11, and then at the end of the 11th round, we got yours truly. Give it to me. Somebody, anybody out there. DBT. Come on, DBT. What is going on? Anybody. Khalil Shakir. Not Mr. Irrelevant just yet, but close to it. And then Stafford. All right, I need a quarterback bad. I'm hurting. You know, Kilk. We got Stafford at the 12-1. Again, if you guys have any fantasy questions, drop them below. We are mock drafting just to get a sense of where the ADP is for these players in the midsummer as we are going through this draft. It's a very sharp draft as well. Getting people involved, getting people to see where the ADP is for these players. There's a player, Nick Toon. That's a cartoon share. Nickelodeon, Nick Toon. I actually remember that guy. Didn't he play for the Giants? Or am I tripping? Or somewhere in the NFC, right? Nick Toon. Brandon Cooks at the 12-2. Jaleel McLaughlin at the 12-3. Okay, so now we're good. I don't mind the Brandon Cooks pick. That's why I took Jake Ferguson. Wanted a little slice of the pie of the Dallas offense, because they are going to be throwing the ball a hell of a lot more than anyone else in the league. Ricky Pearsall, shout out Florida, dog, and Justin Herbert just cucks me like that. All right, QB, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Baker, Geno, Will Levis, Bryce Young. These guys are awful. I think I'm just going to go Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson. I just drafted Deshaun Watson. those quarterbacks that were there, I just needed someone. I can't believe I waited that long for another quarterback, but bye weeks, and just in case anything happens with a Rich, I probably should have got a more stable quarterback. I was looking at Herbert, more of a pocket passer. If anything happens to Richardson and Deshaun, then I am truly just a dead man walking. Texans should this year. Jags, Titans, Lions definitely do too. Texans are this year's Lions. So, we shall see. I keep saying it. We shall see. Quentin Johnson just got drafted. You want to talk about disgusting? There it is. Rico Dowell, Cowboys backup. Still, I don't think very good. Jahan Dotson, make it or break it year. I don't like that pick, but where did Jaden Daniels go? He went at the 9-8, which is actually way later than most people would be taking him. And we are at pick 144. There's 216 in this best ball draft. So if you're staying around, make sure to like the stream. Or if you have any questions about where people are going ADP-wise or fantasy questions, let me know. And we'll chat about it. Make sure you're checking out Verse Fantasy 2. We have an app where you can play for real money on your fantasy football team. So make sure to check that out. It's not just a media company. We have an app, and it is great. So definitely go check that out. It was a big hit last year. Vidal got drafted. Interesting. Luke Musgrave. I think I only have one tight end, too. That's a big problem. So we're going to be going tight end here in the upcoming pick. Hawks on top. Shout out to Jonte Murray. New home. Chuba Hubbard, love that pick. At the 13-4. Rip the Stanley. And Marshawn Lloyd. That was also a good pick. I gotta stick to my guns and get a tight end. Because I only have one. Which is disgusting. Again, Giants only team to win a Super Bowl in 4 different decades. That is a good trivia question. I would have guessed, yeah. I don't know who I would have guessed. Pittsburgh, probably. You're right. Or New England. What, New England did it in just 2? Tom Brady did it in 3 different decades, right? Oh, I'm on the clock. Mike Williams. I need to pay attention. They're just bending me over at this draft. Not good. Not good. Honestly, probably going to wrap it up here soon. Just because I'm losing my voice. But I appreciate the people that are in here. You can go check us out on YouTube. And I think we'll just be doing general fantasy advice here soon. But we're getting down to the 13th picks. So we're not really anything too spicy. Anonymous, 1985. You're the man. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a follow. We go live a lot, and check out our app where you can play fantasy football for real money DFS games. Really, really cool. Only place you can do it. Other than that, I'm probably going to cut this live, and I'm going to finish this draft on the toilet. So, best of luck to me.